We know police have already confiscated everything from bear spray to shields to metal and wooden poles. What's happening there now? Looks like things are relatively peaceful behind you.
They are peaceful. They are peaceful. They are peaceful.
A few updates, folks. The Beta Cuck for Life guy. I did say in a former video, this one right here, Antifa scam, that his ID says Swiss ID, and I wrongly assumed that meant Swiss ID. Now, that actually refers to, in that county, Multnomah County, which is where the county of Portland, Oregon, apparently, if we can trust this answer, and kind of sounds plausible, it stands for Sheriff's Warrant and Identification System of Multnomah County. So there you go. And there's more information here you can see on your screen if you want to read that. Pause, but we're going to move on. Let's close that. What else is there? Okay, and then this is just on the 19th. Local news showed this.
37-year-old Alexander Dial was held over the weekend along with another person police are only identifying as John Doe. 11 other people were cited and released during the demonstrations. On Saturday night, city leaders praised the police response for managing what they called a largely peaceful event.
And, you know, he's clearly breaking their rules, so...
Like they would care, probably.
Well, it's either we can document their hypocrisy or document that they have consistency.
True.
Because this guy's accepting money to break the law, basically. He's like, oh, I'm going to give it to the ACLU, I think of what he said, or whatever. But, yeah, first of all, the ACLU should not be accepting, and not that they would, necessarily. Anyway, so basically, folks, if you don't know, this is what happened for the most part. In general, the Patriots, the Proud Boys, and other Patriots, they basically met, waved their flags, hurrah, hurrah, moved across the bridge, everybody waved their flags, hurrah, hurrah, and alright, everybody, let's now get out of here and go drink beer at pubs and all that kind of stuff, and that was mostly what happened on that side of the situation. Antifa, they were basically trying to get at, you know, go and attack the other group of people. The police did a much better job of keeping them away this time around. However, this is what happens when they don't get to confront their enemy. They inevitably will turn on the cops and just stragglers. So there's always going to be outliers from the herd that are right-wingers that are wearing, say, American flags or whatever, and there were individuals who were attacked. I mean, we've seen in former videos. But watch, the mayor is going to get all uppity here.
When we have people like Joe Biggs from out of state say that they're going to come here...
He don't like your kind around here.
When we have people like Joe Biggs from out of state say that they're going to come here every single month until we do whatever it is they think we should be doing.
Hold on a second. Did he just... Let's hear that again.
We have people like Joe Biggs from out of state say that they're going to come here every single month until we do whatever it is they think we should be doing.
How dismissive this man is of just basic civil rights and the Constitution. He knows goddamn well what it is that Joe Biggs and etc. want, what the Patriots want. It's the same thing as a Patriot Prayer wants, Portland's Liberation wants, and Patriots all over the country want. They want you to respect the U.S. Constitution, namely the Bill of Rights, and civil rights, however you want to word it. Okay? We know that you handcuffed the police. This is just a matter of public record going back years now. We know that Darrell Turner, the head of the Portland Police Association, has been for at least a year, if not 2 years now, saying that you handcuffed the police. We've caught you. We've documented in videos how you lie. You lie about the police. You lie about the Patriots. We know that you won't say Antifa, let alone condemn them. You say things like these people from out of state when you damn well know that Portland's Liberation are people in Portland. We know that you, just like the mayor of Berkeley, tell your cops to stand back and to do almost nothing. Allow Antifa to smash windows and attack people and harass people. We've seen your police on video, and we're talking both Berkeley and Portland. We've seen these police forces standing back. We've already documented in numerous videos how the police in Berkeley and in Portland will stand back and allow Antifa to break the law, to damage stuff, harass people, even attack people. We've documented it. There's just no doubt about it. We also have newsreels of mayors of both of these cities telling the press, yes, we tell the cops to not intervene as they do that. Unless they're seriously damaging somebody's head and pounding into the pavement, we tell our cops to not intervene because we find that that causes more chaos. Yeah, reminds me of the Babylon Bee article, where it basically says, it's a satirical article, folks, you can see on your screen right now, but I'm going to paraphrase it from memory. It's not real, but it's not far from the truth. Chief Daniel Outlaw, and yes, that is her real name, Chief Outlaw, says if only there were like an armed and trained force that could keep the peace in Portland. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Yeah, how is it that Daryl Turner, the head of the Portland Police Association, can see the obvious? But I mean, I guess they could just pay her to just pretend to be stupid, like, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, it's like the mayor, he tells us to stand back, and we stand back, and he even admits it on the news that he tells them to stand back, but I'm just going to stand here and go, I don't know, we're assessing things, and we're going over evidence, and we're trying to figure out why it is that we allow people to beat up other people, as long as it's, you know, the Antifa side. But we won't say the word Antifa!
No.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mayor Ted Wheeler has utter disdain for the truth, utter disdain for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, total contempt for civil rights, but there is a plan to keep hammering and hammering and hammering until this man gives up.
People like Joe Biggs from out of state say that they're going to come here every single month.
And if you guys don't get your city straightened the fuck out, we're going to keep coming back every single month.
Until we do whatever it is they think we should be doing.
Every month! Let's do this!
I want to give this some context. These types of demonstrations and the kind of response that we had to put in place today cost millions of dollars.
Ted Wheeler has spent $2 million just to host 400 people, 500 people on this park.
And if we're spending money here today doing this, those are resources that could go to other top priorities in this community.
So we're going to waste his resources today.
So I want to be very clear. We do not want him here in my city, period.
Notice the rhetoric. We're a sanctuary city, so people from whatever nations, they can come in here and we'll give them sanctuary. And we'll do our best politically to keep it that way. But also, we don't like your kind if you're from outside of Portland. You're not... Okay, so somebody tell this mayor that this is the United States of America. And Portland is not a sovereign. It is not another nation. And he has no say whatsoever on whether or not a U.S. citizen can enter or leave his town if they're abiding the law. And they have a constitutional right to gather peaceably, to exercise their free speech, and if he doesn't like it, too bad. He doesn't have that say. If you don't like America, you have the freedom to leave. I'm not saying love it or leave it, but I'm saying if you want to leave it because you don't like the freedoms that other people have, you'd probably be happier in some other place because you're not going to win this, Ted Wheeler. Okay, this is going to happen. You will be forced to abide by the law and the Constitution, you undercover commie fuck. Yeah. Whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not sure what it is that you're doing, but you think that you can defy the entire United States of America and its foundational documents and win this? You are extremely stupid, okay? And
call me.
whatever it is that he is, he's certainly he seems to be serving this agenda of let's weaken the police force to the point where basically mob justice overrules it. It seems to be, you know, and it's like just like with Berkeley, when all eyes are on it, it sort of feigns like, okay, we're going to do something different this time around. And then maybe the next time around, because people are not looking at it anymore, they do, you know. So, for example, in Berkeley, I think it was like April 27th or something like that, where that was when everybody was looking at Berkeley and the police did their job and the two sides didn't fight with each other. And then the August thing happened. The Say No to Marxism thing happened. And that just became a horrible thing where individuals were just getting beat down. Patriot Warrior Media, Keith, was beaten down badly just for being there because they basically had maybe a dozen people to fight, and there were hundreds of people that wanted to fight those dozen people, so there you go. But yeah, my point is that yes, everybody was looking at Berkeley, and that one time they had that one rally where the police did their job and everything went as it should. Everybody exercised their civil rights on both sides, you know, and that's fine. And then the next time around in August, I think it was the 27th of 2017, that was a horrible thing. So we may see something like that happen in Portland if, say, the eyes of America are not looking close enough on it. You know? And it seems like the response, if anything, I haven't heard, say, anything from the president or other people basically saying that was not good enough. You need to do a lot better because that was a failure. That was an absolute failure with so many different administrations, I guess, or police forces and federal. Apparently, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into what agencies actually were involved in what, but there were a lot of failures and there were a lot of fights and some people got seriously hurt. Other people could have been seriously hurt. You know, there were a few people that, who knows? I mean, you know, like that attack on the bus, for example. Who knows that, say, one of those people, like, you know, like that Alexander Gorman Dial guy, what if somebody like him just pulls out a handgun and just starts shooting people inside the bus? You know? How long before that happens?
Democrats don't care about that unless they can use it.
Yeah, and people say, oh, well, you know, it's not like Antifa's committed murder. Well, if that Twitter that was reported by many different agencies, news agencies, belonged to that shooter, then yes, that was a mass murder, technically speaking, by Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Then before that, shortly before that, you had that guy in Tacoma, Washington, who tried to kill people. You know, he was firing on police, throwing fire bombs at a fuel tank right across the street from an ice center. Some reports saying he was throwing it at the ice center. Either way, it was not okay. You know, and he got death by cop. And then I think it was back in January, perhaps, or maybe it was December of last year. You had that first death by cop that I know of an Antifa member in Eugene, Oregon. Forget the guy's name right now, but that guy. And so it should not be surprising if there's going to be an actual murder by Antifa at one of these rallies. That'll be the next goal post that they'll reach.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this uppity little puppet of a man, this little effete little fairy guy, I'm gonna get mad at you guys. Don't you come back. We don't like you in our town. We welcome everybody here and civil rights. But you can't have your civil rights here in our town, then don't come here. He's like one of the Fraggles. He's like
that was very accurate, by the way.
He's like that yellow Fraggle.
Yeah. Only I like the yellow Fraggle more.
Okay, imagine if the yellow Fraggle was a dick. Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how the news is spinning it where, oh, he called in. He didn't call in. No one, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a one. He only allowed them in because to protest it would be an admission of his enjoying the carnage.
Right.
He was strong-armed into doing his fucking job this time.
Yes.
That's what happened there.
Right. We'll get to what Enrique Tarrio has to say about this. If you don't know, folks, the event was actually put on by Enrique Tarrio, Rufio Panman, both Proud Boys, and Joe Biggs. I don't know if Joe Biggs is a Proud Boy, but, you know, he's a media personality. You may have seen him work with InfoWars and etc. and his own thing. He does various stuff. So there you go, folks. I mean, it's becoming more and more clear, despite a lot of the media just flat out lying. It's becoming more and more clear that these groups, the Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, they are showing up, and they're doing their best to show up, wave their flags, sing together, do a couple things together, and then just get out of there. Hopefully, you know, safely. They understand that they always get attacked when they're leaving, so that's always a concern. But it's becoming clearer and clearer. And if these guys want to do it month after month after month, I'm all for it. You know, that's great. And, you know, I've communicated with a couple of different people who basically have said, well, I live in Portland and I wish they would stop coming here. No, I'm not with Antifa, not at all, but I just wish they would stop coming here and doing this. And you gotta understand what is at stake here. You can't show the nation and the rest of the world that an American city can decide, you know what, fuck the rest of America, fuck the Constitution, we're gonna run things the way that we want to run them in an illegitimate manner that is, well, not legitimate, not legal, not constitutional. Mm-hmm. And are we gonna allow these cities, you know, Berkeley's another one, and etc. Are we going to allow these cities, maybe Dearborn, Michigan's another one, are we going to allow them to just thumb their nose at the Constitution, the law, its own citizens? You know, we're talking, I mean, Dearborn, Michigan's another one. Civilized human beings, citizens, Americans, being attacked and imposed upon by other American citizens, but ones that are not really law-abiding or very civil. At any rate. And are we going to show the rest of America that certain cities can just be like, you know what? We're going to make it so that if you have an American flag in our city and you get beat up, nobody's going to do anything about it. You know, that's justice. You deserve it, and that's how it is in this town. No, you can't have free speech. We'll allow our plainclothes cops, Antifa. Anyway, I'm drifting off topic, but who are they to say that you as citizens who are allowed to go into and out of any U.S. town and be on any public space whatsoever can't in their town? No, it's not up to you. No. It is not up to you. And, you know, if you have to be bankrupt, you know, it kind of sucks, but, you know, some things are more important. Mm-hmm. Some things are more important. And I've had conversations with people who say they're from Portland and they just want it to stop. And I do understand to some extent, but, and I'm not to say, you know, I don't want to be mean and be like, you know, I'm against you because you're complaining about it. No, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that you have to deal with this crap. But, you know, and I understand that not everybody has the ability, physically or whatever, to be out on the streets opposing Antifa. Not everybody can do it, but let the people who can do it. You know, as long as they're doing it in a peaceful way. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is far too much longer than I wanted it to be.
More conflict could be on the horizon.
We're going to keep coming out here. We're going to keep wasting his resources. He's going to call all the agencies that he's called. He's going to call the National Guard, the FBI, all of those people. And we're going to keep coming out here until Ted Wheeler does something.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, freedom, and equality.
We're going to keep coming back every single month. Every month.